This is an example of the workflow approval process that can be applied to any Jedox application. This specific one is applied to a planning application, but it can be assigned and adapted to meet the needs of approval processes for any other application that is designed and built within the Jedox application platform. So what we have here is we have a basic screen. This is the start point of any approval process, and it has two approval steps in this specific demonstration. You can have any number of approval steps, and you can have any number of tasks. So the tasks we have here, as you can see, are sales budget, resource planning, HR planning, etc. We're going to stay with the sales budget. And for any approval process, we need to be able to assign the steps of each approval to particular individuals. You can do that by clicking on the Workflow Task button, and that will bring up the steps that we have set for this specific application and who is currently assigned to those tasks. So right now, I'm logged in as admin, and admin has been assigned to most of those tasks. But by clicking on the user, I can actually bring up a screen that will allow me to reassign to any of the preset users that we have in the system itself. So I'm going to leave that as admin for right now. I'm going to close that back down again. So we're back on the main screen. We've not started the approval process, so the first step that we would need to do is go ahead and start the workflow process. What this will do is it will reset the database for a new process. You might be on a quarter end or a year end, and you need to start your approval processes again. Once that's done, you will actually see that it brought an email, sent an email, and that email is telling me to go ahead and start the tasks that are assigned to me, and it's sent that through Outlook. So the way that I can actually go ahead and make a start is I can actually access the underlying report that I need to be submitting with underlying data, or I can go ahead and immediately go into the workflow itself. So right now I'm going to just go in and look at the underlying report. What this application is doing is it's going to bring up data entry screens for the submission of budget data. Again, this is just for this specific application. Once I'm in here and I'm happy with this data, I can go ahead and click in here and bring up the workflow screen. So what this workflow screen is going to do is it's going to give me the ability to make any notation that needs to be sent in the underlying email. And also in here, I can now assign a document path name. So if you want to be able to have other users linked to specific documents in your system, we can actually assign that path name here and give the users the ability to go ahead and view those documents. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enter some text. I'll spell it correctly as well. And I'm going to also enter a path name to a file. So here's a path to a document that I'd like to submit to the next level and have any other user that's got the appropriate security to be able to access that file. And then I can go ahead and proceed. This specific screen is going to actually update itself because I'm actually the approver as well. If you're just a submitter, you wouldn't see this, but I'm an approver, that's why you've got that. And you can actually see that I've now been sent an email. So that email's been forwarded to me. It's from whoever we define in the underlying system, telling me that the data has been entered and that I need to go ahead and start the activity process for myself as an approver. I'm going to close that down. I'm going to go back into workflows. And once we're back in the workflow main screen, what you should see is now this has now started to move across. So this one now has been started, and you can actually see now that I've got the ability to actually drill down and look at the underlying document that's been attached to that email directly from the screen here. So by clicking down, here's my document that I've got on Google Share Drive, and other users can see that as a function of their security settings. So right now, we've gone through that first initial step. I'm still logged in as admin, so I can now go ahead and approve that underlying budget, or if I don't agree with it, I can reject it. So I've got a rejection level and an approval level. So I can now go ahead and proceed, but I can also attach my own file if I want to, or any link. So if I want to, say, maybe put in www.google.com, enter that, approve it. Close that down. And now you can start to see the fact that we've now gone through each of the steps, we've approved it, and we've assigned various different documents to that underlying process, and you can see down here that everything's cleared. We only have 2 steps of approval, so everything's now completed. And I can now drill down, and as we said before, this was the Google screen, the Google link that I put in. So we can include web links, and we can include paths to underlying documents. You've got the ability to be able to move around this whole process. Right now we were looking at all customers. If you've got specific regions that you want to look at, we can pull down, say, Americas, and you can see the underlying territories within the Americas. We can go back and we can look at Europe. So you've got the ability to drill down and make this approval process apply to any aspect of your underlying database. And as I said before, we can attach documents through the path, and we can automate the sending of underlying emails to continue that approval process. So I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask.